Mohamed Maruf says, when the draw first happened, our fan base was way more confident against PSG than they were now. Why do you think that is, and how confident are you guys?
Well, if that is the case, which is something that I don't know and maybe I haven't even noticed, I think it's quite simple. I think Real Madrid's form has dropped a lot since the Spanish Super Cup. I think that after the Spanish Super Cup, Real Madrid started to show a little bit more fatigue, a little bit more tired legs on the midfield. Rightfully so. The Super Cup was right after the break, and every veteran was probably tired. But I think we wouldn't be lying if we said that Real Madrid's form has dropped and decreased a lot since the Spanish Super Cup. So maybe that's the reason why some fans aren't as confident in Madrid's chances of going through against PSG.
Yeah, form and injuries are the two I think that are giving people some anxiety right now. So obviously you wrote about this today. Ferland Mendy is back in training, and he's training with the group, not on his own, which is huge news, because when I first saw that, my gut feeling was like, well, that could mean nothing, because that could mean he's just doing exercises on his own in the gym. Back to training and back to full training are two different things. So are you optimistic about that now that he's going to make it?
Yeah, Mendy, I'm close to 100% sure that he will play, unless obviously he suffers some kind of relapse during training these next few days. I think he'll miss for sure Saturday's match against Villarreal, and he'll spend the next 3-4 days trying to improve his form and conditioning and properly recover from his injury to face PSG. Usually, just clarification for some listeners who might actually read the site as well, that usually when I write rejoins the squad in the headlines, it means that he's completed at least a portion of the session with the group, and that means he's worked with the ball, with the group, maybe even physical contact. That doesn't mean that he completed the 90 minutes of the session with the group, but at least a portion of it. When they work by themselves, even if it's on the pitch, I usually don't. Well, usually no, I never write that they have rejoined the squad. Just a quick note about it.
So that's huge, because if he plays against PSG, I spent some time writing out about it this week. To like, what are the options there? What's our best fit? Is it Alaba or is it Nacho? And I didn't even include Marcelo because I'm not sure I'm really interested at all to see what Mbappe would do against him, or Messi if he's on that wing, or whoever. So that's massive. That's a huge difference maker.
Massive, yeah.
I was having a discussion with my dad about this last night, I think it was, and he was like saying, so it seems like we're missing Benzema, but they're missing Neymar, so it's a balance set. And I was like, Dad.
Oh, Neymar rejoined the squad today.
Yeah, but
and Paredes did too, I think.
All right. Well, you don't have to. I'm already dead, man. Just give me a break for a second. I was like, it's Neymar. It doesn't seem like he's going to be 100% fit though, so I don't know if they'll risk starting him.
I'm not worried. Yeah.
But I was telling my dad, I was like, if you look, to me, it doesn't balance out, because Benzema is more important to Real Madrid than Neymar is to PSG right now.
Sure, absolutely.
And Neymar's not having a great year, and he hasn't been healthy.
Yeah, just a quick point. In fact, I would actually rather face Neymar than Di Maria, probably.
Yes, that's where I was going.
No, Neymar is a player. I know he's definitely a better player than Di Maria. His career has been better. He's he's been in the final shortlist for the Ballon d'Or many times, throughout the years. But right now, at this point of their careers, and considering that Neymar is coming off an injury, I would rather see him fit and starting than Di Maria. I think that obviously Pochettino will not have a choice to keep Neymar on the bench if he's fit and ready to play. So I think that the fact that Neymar seems to be recovering in time for the match, I think it gives Real Madrid a little advantage here, because Di Maria might actually be dropped, and I'm more afraid of Di Maria than I am of Neymar at this point.
I agree. I completely agree. And that's where I was going with this, because, and by the way, this is someone who actually, I think Neymar is an amazing player. You won't find me underrating him. I remember being at the PSG game where we beat them 3-1 in the first leg, and it was just like this collective anxiety every time Neymar had the ball because no one could from our team could stop him from just dribbling through
Right.
three, four players in transition and getting to the box. Um, but right now, just given their form and how, and the other thing is Di Maria is a big player. It's
Yeah.
so that's one
Big
thing. He's a
moment also. Yeah.
big moment, big game player, and also he has that towards us. He'll have that "fuck you guys, I
Right.
want to rip your hearts out."
Absolutely.
That factor I can't underrate either. So yeah, I agree with you
Absolutely.
on that in that sense. And without Benzema, we're just a totally different team. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
not good. Um, where was I going with this? I guess maybe those were the points I wanted to bring up. This is part of the reason why I think the fan base is a little lower morale now. Which it to be honest, it doesn't really matter what the fans think. It really matters how the mentality of the players, and we have a lot of experience going into these games, and so I think in that sense we'll be okay. Mendy's a huge, huge return, and PSG have had a lot of tactical holes this season. So it's to me, it's not a foregone conclusion. Let's just put it that way.
Right. Paredes will be huge for them if he's back and he's able to play, I think.
100%. And the other one, I wanted to ask you this. There's much been made about and I don't know why it's been a discussion to be honest. So I don't know why I'm making a discussion on top of that. But this idea of if Benzema is not 100%, should he play? Where do you stand on that? Because to me, it's a hard no. I don't want him on the field if he's not 100%.
It depends a lot on the risk and the potential risk of getting injured again and miss the return leg, and then maybe some more Liga games which could be crucial. I think Sevilla are still 6 points behind Real Madrid. I know that most fans expect Sevilla to drop points, more points than Real Madrid by the end of the season, but I wouldn't be that confident. So I mean, I don't want him to risk an injury in the first leg. If he's not 100% in the sense that his confidence isn't there, his conditioning in the sense of fatigue isn't there, then I might be fine with him starting. But if he's risking another injury, then I probably agree with you and take a more cautious approach with him and maybe keep him on the bench and play him 10, 20 minutes if Real Madrid really think that they can find something in the late stages of the game, and then hope to end the game with a close result, and then travel to Madrid with a healthy Benzema trying to help the team earn the ticket to the quarterfinals. Sorry, I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah. I think to me, no matter. I mean, I'd be very,
It's
very
not a
shocked.
final.
What's that?
It's not a final. So
No,
I mean,
it's
there's a
not.
second leg of still to be played.
Right. And that's where I think, to me, I'd be super, super shocked if this was over after the first leg. I don't think we're going to come back from Paris with or without Benzema with, out of the tie. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I have faith that our defense will hold up, and I have faith that Vinicius can do something. If it's if we don't score in Paris even, I don't think it's over. So
Yeah, I think the worst case scenario for Real Madrid we're looking at right now would be a 2-0 maybe, which is
it's
obviously
pretty
a
bad.
very tough.
3-0 is
Yeah,
pretty
it's
bad,
pretty
but it's
bad,
not.
and
Yeah.
well, yeah, the away goal rule is over this season.
Oh,
mind
that's
you.
true. I
So,
forgot about that completely. Yeah, you're right. I
so
completely
yeah, a
forgot.
2-0 result, then you have a 2-0 at the Bernabeu, which is obviously tough, but it's not out of the question, and you go to the extra time. So I think maybe here's the scenario we're looking at right now. I think at 2-0, obviously I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be destroyed or in despair about after a 2-0, and I think Real Madrid would still have a chance after a 2-0. Worse than that, it would be tough for me, yeah.
So I have seen people float around this idea that look, if Benzema's ready, the manager will know if he's 100% ready or not, or if he's at 90%, they know the risk. I'm very skeptical about that philosophy because I've seen way too many times that a player like this starts and then goes off injured before halftime, and it was a disaster of a decision. And I just don't want that to happen at all.
Absolutely.
Didn't this happen to Ramos recently in last year or something?
Yeah, to Ramos, to Bale in the past is a
Bale
good
in the
example.
Clasico. Daniel
Hirashi is
Wass this
recovering.
weekend, Diego Costa in the Champions League final. It's happened.
In the final, yeah, 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 yeah.
So I really don't trust that. So again, like I'm no expert. I
No,
don't
and
have
by
the
the
answers,
way,
but
if Ancelotti actually risks it and plays Benzema, and Benzema gets badly injured in the sense that he's going to miss 1 or 2 months, I think Real Madrid are in trouble for La Liga based on what we've seen lately. So I think you still have to be a little bit cautious and not forget that you still have a job to do week in and week out in La Liga, because otherwise maybe you will end up struggling a lot by the end of the season.
and by the way, sorry to say, but if there's one manager in the world who would risk it, it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
Ancelotti.
yeah. And there's if there's one manager in the elite side of football who I'm afraid he could actually battle the current lead in La Liga, might actually be Ancelotti as well. So
All right, well that's enough doom and gloom
just be cautious.
for now. Yeah, let's talk about more optimistic things, which I don't know
All right,
actually there will be in this podcast, but I think we have time for one more
all right.
because I have to go. But our patron Adrian says, "Isn't it crazy